Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we embark on one final walk through the world of Half Life Alyx as we take a look at its creepiest elements. Previously I covered a video guiding you through the game's story and a second video where we looked at its secrets and Easter eggs. So with this Half Life Alyx video, it seemed appropriate to cover the one element we haven't really detailed yet, the game's scary side. Without doubt, Half Life Alyx is a horror experience, and at times a truly terrifying game due to the fidelity of its visuals and audio design within a virtual reality setting. So sit back, relax, and prepare to journey through the creepiest moments of this new Half-Life game. To begin with, let us take a look at a Half-Life favourite, the Headcrab. These giant headsuckers have become quite iconic in the world of video game nasties ever since their introduction in the original Half-Life game way back in 1998. They come in two additional forms alongside the standard headcrab seen here. The first of these is the armoured headcrab, which can only be destroyed by blasting the glowing flesh on its exposed underbelly. Secondly, we have the toxic headcrab, which has long spider-like legs and is by far the most agile of the bunch. Their toxic venom can blind the player and remove large chunks of health at one time. But what exactly is a headcrab? Well, they are parasitic alien life forms a little larger than a human head. They have two long claws at the front and two stumpy legs at the back. Between their front legs are a set of elongated claw-like teeth, and on their belly, a large exposed hole used to latch onto their prey and fuse with it. Once they have successfully latched onto a host, the headcrab takes control of their body, and the unlucky human in question becomes their own personal puppet. These humans, now under headcrab control, are known as zombies and aggressively rush the player. They even take on the trait of their respective crab, so for example, an armoured headcrab gives its host an armoured body. What's even more horrifying is the impact these headcrabs have on the host's face. They literally suck the skin and flesh right off over time. Imagine your body being taken over by an alien parasite and being fully conscious but unable to pull it off. It gradually eats away at your face, making you kill your loved ones in the process. Yeah, headcrabs are nasty customers for sure. There are many sequences throughout the game which put these creepy customers to good use, such as this sequence where Alyx must lower the body of this maintenance worker so she can obtain his shotgun, all while headcrab zombies attempt to smash through the boarded up tunnels beside her. Or how about this scene, where Alyx must obtain a flashlight in a toxic headcrab nest. We move our arm around to represent the flashlight in VR, desperately searching for these creepy critters in pitch darkness. But surely the most unsettling headcrab moment in the entire game can be found when observing the lone zombie in the zoo chapter. It seems this zombie was previously a zookeeper and fond of the children he used to visit the zoo, one in particular who drew this picture of a tiger. Did this drawing belong to the man's daughter perhaps? In this zombified state, did he end up killing her against his will? Or maybe he is just mourning what he lost after his headcrab transformation. Either way, this scene represents the eeriest element of the headcrab, how their human hosts retain their ability to think and feel throughout the entire ordeal. During the midpoint of the game, Alyx must navigate her way through an old hotel known as the Northern Star. This building is highly dilapidated and infested with alien life forms. Plant life glows and pulsates, some of it harmless and some of it ready to latch on to anything stupid enough to get too close. So while many of the sights we encounter in this hotel have a kind of cosmic beauty to them, we never feel particularly safe. Spores explode if we get too close. We must hold our breath around poison breathing pods. And we see human casualties fused with alien fauna and are now baked into pieces of furniture. It's surreal to say the least. These horrifying alien creatures, known as barnacles, hang from ceilings and use their long and super strong tongues to snag anything unlucky enough to wander beneath them. They don't discriminate and eat pretty much anything, storing all manner of things inside their digestive system. If we shoot one open, we often find some pretty unpleasant items drop out in a shower of gore. If a barnacle latches onto Alyx, then the player is forced to try and quickly and accurately blast their way free before becoming their next meal. One sequence in particular uses these horrifying aliens in a very effective way. Alyx requires a valve handle to gain access to this door, her exit out of an alien hive. Unfortunately, it can be seen just out of reach on the other side of this gate, hanging from the tongue of a barnacle. So we must now break out our flashlight and take a journey through a series of dark, narrow corridors infested with barnacles ready to snack on us if we make the slightest misstep. It's an incredibly nerve-wracking level that rewards patience and spatial awareness above all else, even though all we want to do is get out of there as soon as possible. At a first glance, the Combine guards or Overwatch soldiers aren't exactly creepy, more of an intimidating force to be reckoned with. Certainly facing down one of the armoured heavy versions of these troops in this VR recreation of City 17 is quite daunting and unnerving. However, the creep factor comes when you understand how these soldiers took on their new appearance and moreover, how they look once their masks are removed. As you can see here, their faces no longer resemble their human origin, instead looking like a mess of chewed up facial tissue. It's a horrifying sight, and certainly one of the creepiest things we come across while playing. The process that transformed a once normal human into one of these Overwatch members is pretty grotesque. The alien empire known as the Combine invaded Earth and began enslaving its residents. The more capable humans were taken to prison camps such as Nova Prospect and transformed into these super soldiers, their vocal cords removed and communicators fitted in their place. Their bodies have undergone extensive modifications, with vast surgical procedures changing how their body functions. Their faces look this way because they have been literally fused with their masks. Despite all of this surgery, they still function like regular humans at times, and even have pretty normal conversations.
Tell her to stop moving around back there.
Still, as well as being an imposing threat in this virtual world, it's creepy knowing what lies beneath their masks and armour, and the reason why their voices sound the way they do. Entering a room full of explosives in a video game is always a tense and hair-raising experience, as one wrong move and everything goes up in flames. Half Life Alyx takes this concept to a whole nother level, with the introduction of mine disposal minigames. We must use Alyx's hacking tool to carefully defuse these explosives by guiding a glowing orb through a series of tiny cylinders. It makes for an intense sequence every single time. While not a creepy element per se, these sequences are as intense as they come, and as I don't plan on making a most intense Half-Life moments video anytime soon, it seemed fitting to include them in this scary moments rundown, because, well, disarming explosives is a pretty scary task. The G-Man has always been one of the creepiest figures from the Half-Life universe, a time-travelling agent who works for an unknown third party and intervenes in mankind's future from time to time to a mysterious end. He enlisted Gordon Freeman to work for him at the end of the original Half-Life game, a mantle he passes to Alyx after she frees him from a Combine prison known as the Vault. G-Man is larger than life in VR. He stands tall and looming before us, his eyes glowing at times, whispering in that haunting protracted voice.
You are aware that you've proven yourself to be of extraordinary value. A previous hire has been unable or unwilling to perform the tasks laid before him.
We still know so very little about this character, and it's eerie thinking of him sat in his prison cell throughout the entire game, patiently waiting for Alyx to come to his rescue, something both she and the player have no idea they are doing until it's too late.
Wait! Hey, wait! Wait! Wait!
These transport containers are known as prisoner pods, and we come across many of them during Alyx's adventure. As we pass by one of these pods, a strange moaning noise can be heard from within. This is the sound of a poor soul trapped within. Prisoners can range from humans to aliens. If an inhabitant of Earth attempts a rebellion against the Combine and are captured, then they end up in one of these pods. It's creepy knowing they all contain living beings, and even worse knowing these prisoners are destined to be surgically transformed into Combine slaves known as stalkers, a highly unpleasant and irreversible process. The Vault is a giant alien mothership, which, as previously mentioned, is currently serving as a prison for the all-powerful G-Man. It uses energy harnessed from an alien race known as the Vortigaunts to do this. This energy allowed the ship to literally suck up entire sections of City 17 and hold them within its walls in a state of anti-gravity. Exploring the eerily quiet ruins of an apartment block that has been sucked up via a tractor beam is pretty creepy in itself, but it's the smaller details that really make the journey through the vault so very strange. The fusion of elaborate alien technology in contrast with the ruins of mankind. The Force-like ghosts we see, remnants of the inhabitants of this apartment block, their final seconds frozen in time and space. And the topsy-turvy nature of everything around us. Gravity comes and goes as it pleases here in this volatile environment, and this makes for a few choice jump scares. The Vault is the very definition of alien, and makes for one of the game's creepier moments when Alyx first awakes aboard it.
Okay, this is weird. But, I don't know, it doesn't look too dangerous.
At a first glance, lightning dogs look very much like an evolved form of headcrab, and perhaps they are. They have a bat-like appearance but cannot fly, and of course, as the name suggests, have a lightning element, blasting us from afar with electro bolts, while also being able to disappear like a squid in a flurry of mist on a whim. So far so creepy, but not yet super scary. Well, that's about to change. You see, the ace up for Lightning Dog's proverbial sleeve is their ability to burrow deep inside a nearby corpse and reanimate it. They then begin to use the Walking Dead as a puppet-like killing machine against us.
Oh my god, it went into a guy. Russell?
This means if we take down any enemies around a lightning dog, they can use these fallen foes as vessels to hide within and literally use them as a human shield in order to fight us. A particularly creepy sequence inside the hotel sees Alyx trying to hunt down a pair of these creatures in order to harness their energy supply to activate a power bank. Unfortunately, their lair is infested with headcrab zombies, and so we have to try and take down the lightning dogs in these claustrophobic corridors while being very careful to avoid but not kill the other enemies. It's a terrifying sequence of events. Jeff is the crowning jewel in terms of scary moments within Half Life Alyx. For some with a more nervous disposition, his chapter is just too downright scary to get through. This deformed humanoid is completely blind, probably because his face splits open to grab its prey, but he does have excellent hearing.
There he is.
Jeff.
Right, watch this. See, he's totally predictable. But he will rip your arms off if he finds you.
So throughout his chapter, which is set within an abandoned distillery, we must sneak around, often right under his nose, and solve puzzles without making any louder noises. If we need a bit of space to work with, then it's up to us to make some noise elsewhere to draw Jeff away. A sequence where Jeff makes his way inside an elevator with Alyx is particularly terrifying. And then of course there are a handful of moments where a particular puzzle requires us to make as much noise as possible, because it's a horror game, so why wouldn't it when this guy's on the prowl? However, we do eventually see the back of Jeff and give him a much needed timeout in this garbage compactor.
Oh my god, Jeff, are you okay?
With that pleasant sight, we come to the end of the creepiest moments found in Half Life Alyx. The game is creepy in general, and so of course not everything can make the final cut for this video, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did, remember to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.